How do you go about choosing a niche for your Shopify store?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Basically, I use something called the bumper sticker test, which is I think of first I come up with a list of like 10 topics that I'm interested in. I want to do something that I'm at least somewhat passionate about. Otherwise, it won't be motivating for me to work on. Like I would never do a garden niche, even though it could probably do pretty well. It's because I have no skin in that game. But then out of my list of like 10 ideas that I'd be interested in, I think of what are some of these niches that I've seen on the bumper of somebody's car or that I've seen somebody get a tattoo for. Like the brand that I grew to like 3 million and then sold to Open Store was called Yoga Stay, because I go to yoga. I'm not the best yogi, but I show up. So it's something that I'm interested in. And I've certainly seen tons of bumper stickers of people with like different yoga sayings or poses, all that sort of thing. And that turned out to be a really good niche. And then a second way is honestly just any niche you see doing well on Etsy or Amazon, Redbubble shows that there's a big market for it. Like that's something that you can easily get into that. It's a great sign that you can get into that exact niche, but on Shopify, because there's so much less competition going the Shopify route. So even if it be a super crowded space on, Merch by Amazon, get into that same thing on your own hosted website. It's like a blue ocean all over again.
For the people that are new, how would you validate a niche, say on Etsy, to figure out, this niche is doing well? You see, you kind of say that, and it's, for us, it's obvious, having done this for a long time, but if someone is new, they've got an idea in their mind, something that they're passionate about, how do they actually validate the niche for, is there enough demand here? What do you look out for?
Yeah, it's a good question. Mostly I just look to see if there's enough sellers. Like if there's a lot of competition, if I see that there's, like top sellers, like most popular or whatever the tag is.
Best seller tag, yeah.
And I look to see that, yeah. And then I look to see like if there's at least like 10 different sellers in that same space. And then I look to see at the designs, at the design level, I make sure that it's not just like one type of design. I want to see a variety, like different styles, like different angles, like humor, typography based, like just minimalist designs, because a well-rounded collection on Shopify is the way to get really profitable like very quickly. Whereas if I just have a store that's just, line art, for example, super minimalistic, it's not going to do as well. The stores that do well are the ones that have humor, they have typography, they have unique designs like all over the place. And so that's what I look for in Etsy, is validation that niche is interested in that.
Why is that, do you think, that having different styles for the same niche works better in your Shopify store?
Yeah, because when we're running the ads, we use dynamic product ads a lot. And the short answer is it gives more ammo to Facebook ads. When Facebook has just one type of style to put in front of your potential customers, that's like a very specific group. Whereas if you give it different styles that would apply to everybody within your niche, like yoga, then it just has a lot more to work with, and it lets the algorithm optimize a lot faster.
Okay, so it's like more options to test with. All right, so we know how to choose a niche. I guess the next question that a lot of people have is, how many designs do you need in your store? Can you just start with like 5 designs, or is it like a minimum threshold that we need to get to ideally?
Yeah, I used to tell people 50 to 75, and then that quickly turned into people launching with 20 to 30. So now I say a bare minimum 100. And it's important that the 100, like I said before, it should be like roughly 5 to 7 of one style, 5 to 7 of another style. Like you don't want 100 of just line art or minimalist art. That doesn't count. You need a variety of each, but at least 100 is where I would start.
Have you noticed, like within your years of experience, any types of designs that sell best? Like, is it funny quotes? Is it puns? Is it adult humor or line art? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great question. Definitely not line art. Although slightly minimalist designs definitely help. But yeah, it was the first one you said, humor. Humor definitely sells the best. I can share one design that works no matter what the niche is. Like basically just swap out the word and it does great in ads. You've probably seen these. It's like, I like coffee and maybe 3 people, or I like yoga and maybe 3 people. Those types of designs absolutely kill doesn't matter the niche. So I recommend having some, like, there's like 4 or 5 others that you can just copy paste, but humor definitely does the best. And the reason for that is that what really gets the Facebook ads to perform well is when you have something that's really engaging. So something that's funny, something that's interesting or thought-provoking or really unique, that gets people to stop scrolling, like, comment, share, tag their friends. And Facebook sees that engagement. They're always monitoring that. And then they reward your ad with more reach. So if you have something that's hilarious that people haven't seen before, it doesn't matter if you have no idea how to run ads. If you have a really good product, like, your ads will do very well just based on that alone.
I guess it's kind of like squeezing into the people that are sharing memes with their friends on social media, right? I don't use social media anymore, but I'm guessing that's what most people do, is they look through their feed, they share some memes to their friends, and if your shirt is a bit like a meme because it's got a funny phrase on it and it applies to their interest, yeah, they're going to share it to their friends, potentially, and then you get that effect of share, which you won't really have with line art, unless you've got someone who's very interested in line art. Yeah, it's unlikely. So yeah, it's the same experience for me, and I don't run Shopify stores, but humor, like phrases plus graphics with a funny sentence, that tends to do best for me as well, out of the bunch. And I do have a few designs that say I love this, and maybe 3 people, so I know that one as well. Yeah. How would you suggest going about creating the designs? Because we've got a lot of choice now, so many AI tools and all the old design tools. Like, what should people use to design?
Yeah, AI tools is what I recommend everybody nowadays. All my previous brands, I went the much more time-consuming route of, we had a team of designers. We would come up with a concept. We had a Trello board filled with ideas. Then the designer would pick it up, design it, come back with a draft. We'd go back and forth. And it was probably like 2 to 3 weeks at least to come up with a collection of 100 designs. Now with like Midjourney, Ideogram, Dolly, any of those, you can do that in like an afternoon, pretty much, if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely does speed up your productivity. Do you still outsource it then? Do you still have a team that would use Midjourney, or are you like able to do some of it yourself now, since you have the faster tools in a sense?
Yeah, I do a lot of it myself. You definitely could outsource it. I just personally like it. I think it's fun, like trying out each of the tools. If I didn't like it as much, then I would just go to like somewhere like Online Jobs and hire a VA and then document, like make an SOP out of like how I create the designs and then train them on that. But yeah, for now I enjoy it, so I'm going to keep doing it.